So you've got this beacon that you can get, and you can buy this on Amazon. I've got a link down below in the video as to where you can buy this. And then you have your frisbee. This could be a golf frisbee or any kind of frisbee. I'm going to show you how to mount this frisbee or this beacon to the frisbee so that it won't come off. You want to start out with some denatured alcohol or some isopropyl alcohol, and just wet a paper towel and take your beacon. Now the beacon, there's two sides to the beacon. The side with the small dot here is the side that has to be up, so you don't want that attached to the frisbee. You want that being up from the frisbee because that's how you turn it on. So you just want to clean the bottom of the beacon with the alcohol and get it nice and clean, and let it sit aside and dry a little bit. And then you want to clean the center of your frisbee. Now, how to find the center of the frisbee: when they mold these frisbees, there's an ejection place. You can see the circle in the middle. That's how they eject it from the mold. That's the center of the frisbee. You just want to clean that with your isopropyl alcohol or denatured alcohol as well, and get it nice and clean. And then you've got some tape, double back tape. It's a 3M VHB tape. This is a 1-inch circular tape. Again, down in the, you can buy this on Amazon as well, and it's in the instructions or the description down below as well as to where you can find this on Amazon. And you just peel this off and stick it to the back of the beacon and get it right on the back of the beacon and secure it. Rub it for about 30 seconds and to get it on there nice and tight. And then you want to peel the backing off of the tape. This can take a little doing to get the backing off without destroying the tape. There we go. And now you want to center this beacon in the center of your frisbee, and you want to get it as close to the center as possible. And you just place it on the frisbee and hold it down for 30 seconds. Place it in place and just hold it for 30 seconds. And it'll be held securely. And then you want to let it dry for a good 24 hours before you ever throw your frisbee. And that's basically all you have to do to get it mounted onto the frisbee. And once it's dried for the 24 hours, it's not going to go anywhere. This is the same tape that they use for mounting cameras to helmets and that type of thing. So the GoPro uses this same tape for mounting the GoPro camera to helmets and other items. So it's a very aggressive tape. And I'll show you later on in this video how to get this back off again if you ever need to get it off. It's very simple to get back off. You just use some dental floss and you can get it back off. So that's all you have to do to get it mounted to your frisbee. Okay, there are two apps that you're going to need for this beacon, and you go to your app store. This only works on an iPhone. We don't have it yet for the Android, but you go to the search menu, and in the search menu, one of the apps you're going to need is RL Beacon. So you just type in RL and Beacon and click on RL Beacon, and the second one down here is the one that you need. Mine says open because I already have it installed on my iPhone. If you don't have it installed on your iPhone, it'll show like it does up in the top up here by the hover, and where it says get, and then just get it and download that app. So you just download the app, and the app will come up like this. It just as an app list, unless your beacon is on. I'll show you what it looks like then. And then you want to download the second app, and the second app you want is Locate Beacon. And just type in locate and beacon, and tap on locate beacon, and that's the second one again. And again, it says open for mine because I already have it installed on my iPhone. It'll say get for you if you don't have it, and just get that and install it. And it says no visible beacons because my beacon is not installed. So that's basically how you install the two apps that you're going to need. And I'll go through it with you on how you use those apps. All right. You have your beacon locator mounted to your frisbee like this. You have your two apps loaded on your iPhone, RL Beacon and Locate Beacon. The next thing we have to do is turn the beacon on. In order to turn it on, you can see the round circle on the beacon here. That's where the location of the on-off switch is. You want to push on that circle firmly, and for 3 seconds, you'll see a green LED flash 3 times. Saying that's on. So I'll push down on this firmly for 3 seconds, and you can see it flash 3 times, meaning that it is on. When you want to turn it off, you do the same thing. You push down on it for 3 seconds. It flashes 1 time, meaning that's off. So we want it to be on right now, so that we can set up this beacon. So I'll push down on it, flash 3 times, meaning the beacon is on now. So now we can use our apps to set up this beacon. All right, now we've got the beacon on. We've got the 2 apps located or loaded on your iPhone, the RL Beacon and the Locate Beacon. First thing we want to do is go to RL Beacon, and the RL Beacon comes up with a list, and it's RDL 51822. That is the default name, the original name of the beacon as you buy it from Amazon. You just click on that name, and it comes up with a page where you can change a number of parameters in this beacon. We'll go through them one at a time. We're going to change the name. I'm just going to arbitrarily choose Frisbee, and click on Write next to name, so that it says Edit Success. So it's written the name Frisbee into this beacon. Now the power is the transmit power, is how strong the transmission would be, and we want it to be as strong as possible, so we can get all the way out to 50 meters. And down in the description, I'll have the parameters that you enter in here for the different powers that you can enter in. and we're going to enter in 4 dBm. That's the strongest power that this beacon can have. And in order to enter in 4 dBm, it's a hex number you have to enter in. In this particular case, it's 04. It's not always the same as the dBm, but in the description it'll show you the hex that you have to add in for the particular dBm that you want to provide. And hit write again, and it says edit success. Now the interval is how often this beacon transmits information to the app. And we want to right now default is every second. If we leave it at every second, when you're trying to find the frisbee, it can kind of delay it. So we're going to go every half second. And again, down in the description, it'll have the hex numbers that you enter for different intervals. And I want 500 milliseconds, and the hex number you have to enter in for that is 0A. So we're going to enter in 0 and A and hit write. We're not going to password protect this at all, so we're going to leave that just blank. And UUID is a unique identifier for this beacon, and we're going to make this a null beacon. And in order to make it a null beacon, it's just the UUID is just going to be 32 zeros. So you want to enter in 32 zeros. So I entered in 32 zeros and hit write. Edit success again. Major and minor and RSSI. I'm going to show you how to get the RSSI. We'll do that in one. Okay, now what next thing you want to do is get the calibration for RSSI, which is a transmit power at 1 meter. And the way you do that is you place your iPhone 1 meter away from your beacon when your beacon is on. And 1 meter is roughly 39.4 inches away from the beacon. And you want to go to the locate beacon app, which is down here in the lower right hand corner of my iPhone, and click on locate, and it's looking for the beacons, and it comes up with a null beacon, and that's what you're looking for. It's got a major of 5 and a minor of 6, and it says distance is 0.2 feet or 2.2 meters. We haven't calibrated that yet, so you want to click on that null beacon. It'll bring you to the next window and click on calibrate and calibrate again, and it's going to go through and sample a number of different RSSI values. I believe it's 25. I'm not sure about that. And it'll give you an average of those readings. So we'll let it finish calibrating here. Still calibrating. And there it's done. And it says calibration complete. 1 meter transmit value is minus 68. So that's what our calibration value is. So in order to find out what we have to enter into that transmit power, what you do is you use a calculator and you take 256 and minus that calibration value we came up with, which was minus 68 dBm, and that comes up with a value of 188. And then what you do is you just go to Google and say decimal to hexadecimal conversion. So we want to convert that decimal to hexadecimal, and click on the conversion, and it says from decimal to hexadecimal, and you type in 188 and convert it, and that's BC. So BC is the hex number that we're going to enter in to that calibration value. And I'll show you how to do that. So now what you want to do is you want to double click on your home page and you want to get rid of the calculator and everything else and your locate, and so that nothing else is using the Bluetooth. And then you want to go to your RL beacon again and click on RDL 51822, and in the major type in the 5 that we saw before and the 6 that we saw before, and RSSI we're going to clip in as BC, and you have to write all 3 of these at the same time. So we're going to write on that, and it says edit success, and go back to the beacon list, and now it says frisbee because we had changed the name to frisbee. And so now we want to double click on the home page again and get rid of that RLL beacon, so nothing is using up the Bluetooth, and go back to your locate app. I'm still 1 meter away from the beacon, and just click on distance this time, and the distance will let it equalize, and it takes a little bit to come up with the new values. So we'll see if it doesn't come up with 1 meter here. It has to sample a number of different samples to get that 1 meter, and it's not doing that. So we're going to close out on locate again, and okay, so I had to let it wait for a little bit and close out of everything, and now I select the null beacon again and the distance, and the distance is saying 0.6, but we'll let it home in, and it's coming up to about the 1 meter that we calibrated it to. So it's not perfect, and it's not going to be perfect, but it is somewhat accurate for the distance. So that's how you calibrate for the distance, and how you use the RLL app in order to change the parameters in the beacon. Okay, what I'm going to show you here today is how to remove the beacon from your frisbee, in case you ever want to remove it to be replaced. You can get some dental floss, and just take a piece of dental floss and get a nice long piece, and take that dental floss and kind of saw through the tape on the back of the beacon until you can just saw it off. There we go. You can saw it off, and you can just peel it off of the frisbee, and then you can just take and with your fingers and just peel it, and it comes off in one glob, so you end up with a beacon that's off, and your frisbee is nice and clean. So that's how you get the beacon back off of your frisbee. So if you lose your frisbee, all you got to do is go to your locate app, locate beacon app, and you'll see the distance that you're away from your frisbee. Now I'm going to walk away from my frisbee, and you'll see the distance increases. and I'm basically about 6 or 7, 8 meters away from my frisbee right now. Now if you want to find your frisbee, all you do is you walk the last place towards the last place you saw your frisbee, walk a few steps, stop, and let it kind of normalize. This has to collect samples of the transmission power and do an average of that. So you have to let it normalize. So it takes a little bit, and then walk a few more steps in the direction you think it is in, and stop and let it average out and see if you're getting closer or further away. If you're getting further away, obviously you change your direction that you're walking, and walk a few more steps and stop and let it equalize again and let it do its averaging, and then you can walk a few more steps and see if it'll go lower yet, and it'll get you to within a meter or so of your frisbee. That should be close enough to find your frisbee. So that's how you use the frisbee, and that's how you put together the tracker from components that are off the shelf that you can buy on Amazon and get on the Android or the iPhone App Store for the 2 apps that you need. And so if you like the video, just please subscribe to my video and like the video, and go down in the comments section, leave me a comment, and go down in the description and you'll find all the links to where you can find these components on the Amazon. So again, like my video and